How's it going, everyone? This is Chilled, and today I'm just going to be doing a quick, just a quick tier list, honestly, on my thoughts so far. And this is only day 2 on the ranked Season 7 after Clefable release. Just like a quick tier list on it, yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into it. I honestly don't want to start with Cinderace. That's probably the worst one in my opinion to start with. Let's start with something crazy, right? So I'd say Gengar. I'd say Gengar is S tier. I would say Gengar is S tier. I'll tell you what, we'll do it like this. S tier will be our best. A tier. Gengar is A tier easily. Like, easily. Do I think he's as good right now? No, because Clefable is a big counter for Pokemon like Gengar that have like those continuous dash moves like Greninja. It's going to be a counter for that. It's going to be a counter for Absol, a lot of Pokemon. So I definitely think Gengar is an A tier Pokemon as long as there's not something that counters it really hard, which is just CC. We'll go into it next. Garchomp. We'll go with Garchomp. F. I think that Pokemon needs an entire rework. I think everything is wrong with that Pokemon. I think Tyranitar is a better Garchomp. And I think, honestly, that's where I'll go on it. I like the Pokemon. I think it's a cool Pokemon. We're going to put Eldegoss, also an F. We're just going to get the F tier, obvious in my opinion, out of the way. Actually, you know what? No. Eldegoss is not F. Is not as bad as Garchomp. I think Eldegoss is E. Not that I really care for an E tier. Maybe we go D to F next time. Eldegoss is E for Eldegoss tier. I think the Leaf Tornado movement is pretty insane, and the shields are meh. We're gonna hit it with. I don't want to do Clefable quite yet, but we'll get Clefable up here just so we remember it. Hoopa. That's an F tier Pokemon, and I honestly just think it needs a buff to Trick. I think if Trick gets a buff, I think that Pokemon's a million times better. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe in the comments tell me if you disagree with that. Absol, we're gonna go with Absol. I also think Absol's an A tier Pokemon. I mean, these two Pokemon have like a decently high skill tier or skill ceiling. Like, Absol's higher than Gengar, so maybe I don't know which one I'd put higher. We'll stay with that for now. We'll go with something I really like, which is Wigglytuff. I'm going to put Wigglytuff into B tier. I don't think it's, like, down here. It's not up here, though, because, like, there's better supports. I think Mime is going to be an A tier. I think Clefable is going to be, like, we'll see. So I'm honestly just going to go with Mime. We'll just go with Mime. We are going to put that in the A tier. I just watched my buddy Joker hit 105k damage with Mime. Like, they reworked it, which was great. It was insanely strong, and then they tuned it down. Still too strong. Do I think they'll nerf it? Probably. Do I want them to? I guess, yeah. It's nice to have on your team. We're also gonna put Clefable up there. The reason I put Clefable up there is because at least right now in the game, Clefable is the best healer, one of the best supports as far as like debuffing the team with gravity. I think the only thing they missed with Clefable is they could have made it I think its Unite move is okay. I like how much you get the Unite move, especially if you run Energy Amplifier. But with Clefable, I think the Draining Kiss got nerfed hard, and it's obvious. Like, I don't think they said anything about it, but it's obvious that it got it. And I think that was a miss on their part, because both builds looked really cool in my opinion. Let's go with Delphox. Delphox, we're gonna say B tier. Not everything can be up here, you know. Actually, we are gonna take some things out of here. I think we're gonna take none of those. Honestly, I think Absol goes to high B tier then. And I think Clefable goes to C, or basically Clefable goes to C tier. Wigglytuff. So we're going to hit, let's go with Lucario. We're going to put Lucario in B tier. If you have a good Lucario on your team, you're going to go off. Let's go with another Pokemon I think is not that great. at all, Decidueye. Now, I've seen some really good Decidueye, so we're going to put it in the E tier. Decidueye tier, really wanted it. But I think its range is insane, but I think that Pokemon is so useless in team fights, especially in solo queue. Like, this is a solo queue tier list, and I think that Pokemon is so bad. Let's talk about Blissey. Now, you know what? We're going to put Blissey as our first D tier. And the reasoning for Blissey being our first D tier is simply because Clefable is a better Blissey. Like, Gravity, in my opinion, is better than Egg Bomb. I mean, Gravity slows Pokemon inside of it, and it also makes Clefable's moves way stronger. Blissey just knocks them up, which is nice. CC is great, and does a chunk of damage, which is also nice. You can confirm objectives with it, but it also could just get you killed. We're gonna go with Greedent. I'm gonna say Greedent is D tier as well. I'm gonna say Greedent is only good for invading the jungle, and trying to get their jungler off level. I think I don't know. I try playing that Pokemon sometimes because I like invading jungle, and that and Aegislash are the ones I really like doing it with. I think Greninja has the potential to do it as well. But yeah, I mean, Greedent, I think it needs something. It needs something, in my opinion. I don't think it's very good. And mind you, I think anything under C tier is like kind of a hard pick to play. I think it's very hard. Speaking of C tier, we're gonna go with Duraludon, and it might be like kind of a hot take, but I think Duraludon's really good if you put the right items on it and play it correctly with like just enough range. Like one of my other buddies, he plays it so well, and it showed me a lot about it. Like, there's a lot you can do with the movement speed decrease from it, and like even Clefable now, and Gravity in that is going to be an insane combination. We're going to go with Charizard. We're going to put Charizard in the B tier. I think Charizard is absolutely crazy, especially if you use Unite, Navy Blue emblems on it. Crustle, I'm going to put that in the C tier. I think Crustle can be crazy good. And that might be, like, people might get mad at that. C for Crustle. I don't know. Rocks can't crit anymore. There's just a lot to it. I think Crustle's in C tier because I don't want this list to be too long. This is going to be a quick one. I'm going to do a longer one a little later in the season once I feel it out. Mew, that's still A tier. Like, let's be honest. That Pokemon's actually insane. Do we need to talk about it? Mamoswine. Mamoswine, we're going to do B tier. Is it the best defender? Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the B tier. I'm gonna put it in the B tier because there's a lot of CC with it. You can do a lot of damage. There's just a lot to it, as well as the tree is gonna go into the B tier because, excuse me, because you can just do a bunch of damage. There's secure with it. There's CC pushing like opposing Pokemon out of the battle, kind of like Talonflame's ult, but with the cooldown and not as far it pushes them. We'll go with Glaceon. I mean, I want to say Glaceon's B tier too. It's kind of insane. Well, I don't think we need to talk about Glaceon. We've known about Glaceon. Serena, you know what? I'm gonna make a hot take here. Serena is D in my opinion. I think with Clefable's Gravity and how like prevalent it is right now, and I think it probably will be this season, I think Serena's pretty bad because it cancels out dashes, and dashes are going to be huge. Dashes are huge moves, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of them cooldown reset or something. We're going to go with, here we go. Here's a good one. F. Alolan Ninetales. I used to love that Pokemon. I bought the cool skin for it, and I don't play it anymore, sadly. I'd probably play in the quick game, honestly, and I probably will soon. It just has no mobility. It doesn't do enough damage. Doesn't have enough secure. Blizzard's just not enough secure. It's a lot. It needs a lot. It needs a lot in this new map. It's probably one of the Pokemon, like these Pokemon right here, need a rework on this new map. And I think Eldegoss is included. I think Decidueye, I don't know about that one. So we're going to go with Blastoise. We'll put Blastoise in the C tier. I mean, Rapid Spin's always been insane. Surf got the buff that has made it crazy good. That Pokemon's pretty much where it's at. Snorlax, we're also going to put it the C tier. I think that's a better defender. I think the defenders do really well in this season, honestly. I think the worst defender is right here. We're going to put Slowbro in the D tier because it's not a bad Pokemon. It has the best, like, ultimate, but here's the thing about Slowbro. Slowbro was really, really good when its ultimate was, like, super strong. Like, it would latch on to people at the Zapdos fight and take them out of the fight. Now it's useful, but Rayquaza is not super needed. Like, everyone, if in reality, if they play well, which Solo Q, maybe it's a C tier Pokemon because he lets you live forever, like Wiggly kind of can be, and Greedon. It kind of, like, you could just back out, and there you have it. You know, you just beat them up a little bit at Rayquaza for the score. Hopefully, you get 2 people on each goal, and hopefully you just do enough damage. Next, we're going to go with Tyranitar. Tyranitar we're going to put in the A tier. I think that is going to be our first rounder in the A tier because, need I say more, the true damage is actually crazy at blocking at Rayquaza. Its ultimate is insane. It is not great at all in the early game, and a solo queue, Tyranitar can actually destroy you. But if you learn how to play it correctly and actually, like, wait till level 9 to start being super, 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 super aggro, unless you're out of jungle, I think it's viable. I think it's A. And we'll move something up into S. Don't worry, guys. We'll definitely get there. Dodrio, we're going to put that into A. I think that Pokemon's nuts. I watched someone steal a Rayquaza with it from literally our bottom goal earlier, and it was probably the craziest thing I've ever seen. Scizor, I'm going to put that into B. I haven't seen enough of it. I think that might be an A next time I do this tier list, but we'll see how that goes. Buzzwole, we're going to put that in the D. I think it's good, but I think stuff is a lot better than it. Cramorant, that thing is E now because it got nerfed to Air Slash and Air Slash. I like it. I did 88k damage with it the other day, but I don't know if it's that good. Azumarill, we'll do that one. That one's pretty easy in my opinion. A tier. I think that's our other all-rounder. It's A tier. Which we'll just do these ones then. Aegislash is B tier. You stack it, you invade with it. There's a lot to it, but you have to be very good at it, and you have to pay attention to, like, its abilities and whatnot. Like, its passive and stuff is very important. Next we have Dragonite. So, like, we're gonna hop into this easy E tier, because there's so much I could explain about it, and all I gotta say is Mew has an amazingly much better Solar Beam. It has Light Screen to pair with it, so you have the Secure Mew. There's honestly a lot to it. So, yeah, that's an easy one. Cinderace, I think we're also gonna put Cinderace in E tier. I hate it because, like, I really like it. You know what? We'll put Cinderace in the D tier. It's hard to have an attacker in those 2 bottom ones, which we're also gonna put. We're gonna put Greninja in the C tier. Cinderace in the D tier because I think Cinderace. I think Cinderace has mobility and has a lot of damage output, but I don't know. I don't know what it is about that Pokemon, honestly, but you just don't see it as much. I don't know. Greninja, I was a Greninja main for, like, the entirety of 2 seasons. Like, on the last 2 seasons of Zapdos map. I love the Pokemon. I still think it's playable. I still think there's better jungle picks for sure, like Absol, Gengar, Dodrio, Tyranitar, even Azu, Glaceon. These 2 are fine. Delphox. Honestly, any of these Pokemon that aren't defender support, I think could. And so Lucario is not one. Oh yeah, Charizard, dude, Charizard's a way better jungler than Greninja right now, and it's because his ult just comes out crazy. So once you get him to that level 9, it just never stops. It just never stops with those navy blue emblems. So we're gonna get down to the end of the tier list. I think we left basically the interesting ones in my opinion. So Machamp, we'll start with Machamp. Joker might hate this call, but I'm probably gonna put Machamp. Tell you what, we don't have any rounders in this one. I think I'm gonna put him in here in C tier. I don't think... I'll tell you what. Man, this is tough. I think I'm going to keep Serena there. I'm going to keep Buzzwole there. I'm going to keep them there. I think Machamp's good because he can stack and he has that ult that can team wipe, but I don't know how good it is anymore. I think I've seen a lot of Machamps kind of struggle on this map with the stacks and stuff, especially because people kind of defend that a little harder unless they're also stacking. We'll get into easy one as well. Pikachu, F. Pikachu is F tier. I think I've seen some good Pikachus. I think Pikachu could secure something. Do I think Pikachu is a top tier Pokemon? No. Do I think Pikachu should be honestly, dude, I'm not trying to be rude, but do I think Pikachu should be played in any comp and ranked? Maybe if you're like 5 stacking and you have like a I don't know. I just don't think it's that great. I think Volt Tackle's I don't know. I don't even want to get into it. I think that Pokemon needs a buff. I don't think it needs a rework. Maybe it does need a rework. I think it should be faster, personally. It should have more mobility. It's a Pikachu. It's a fast Pokemon. Talonflame. We are going to put Talonflame in the B tier. Because I don't think Talonflame's as good as Gengar, Dodrio, Mew. Yeah, the healers I'm not going to compare to. Azuta. No, but it's close. It's definitely as good as, like, these, and Absol could be in one of these. I'm not sure which one Absol's really in, but yeah, I'd say Talonflame's good. You can score a lot of points with it. It's kind of like Dodrio where you can back cap hard, but back capping can only do so much for you unless you're like super score heavy and you're not really worried about like the team fights. You're more like defense and score heavy and like just a score comp. Let's go with Dragonite. I feel like that's probably the easiest one to put on here. Dragonite is down here. Dragonite's down here. You know what? Dragonite's here now because Clefable's gravity will negate the Dragon Dance, which, no, you know what? Dragon Dance, if I'm thinking about it correctly, Dragon Dance will probably just like reset on its own when you hit 3 or 4 basic attacks. So, I guess I want to go with Zeraora. I think Zeraora is D. I think Zeraora is D. Excuse me. I think Zeraora is D for dies. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to play that Pokemon. I don't know who I've listened to recently that said that they don't know what it is about Zeraora. Maybe it was Crashy. I don't know. But, like, they said something about it. They don't understand it. That's how I feel about it. Like, my buddy plays Zeraora. I do not play Zeraora. So, we'll put Gardevoir. Put Gardevoir D. I don't think it's that great. It's not better than Cinderace. Definitely not better than Serena. Not that we should compare them, but I do think it's better than Decidueye, though. It's better than Venusaur barely, probably. It might be E, but I'm going to put it in D just to be nice. This Pokemon might be a shock to some people, but I'm going to put this one in C. Sylveon? Dude, Sylveon's crazy. If you ask me, Sylveon is a 80k damage machine. Like, you just keep spamming Hyper Voice, using the Calm Mind to raise your special attack and also special defense. It gives you movement speed, so if you're on like an X speed with the Calm Mind, you can just spam them both and just cruise. You just cruise through the map. It's one of those Pokemon that's just mobility through moves, and X speed is actually insane. Like, I'm trying to think, look for another one. Wigglytuff's kind of not a bad example, like with Rollout, but and then Espeon. Espeon. We're gonna put Espeon in B tier. I do think Espeon's pretty crazy right now. I think the speedsters are looking pretty crazy right now, honestly. From what have my tier list at right now. And then last but not least, we're going to pick one Pokemon to go into the S tier. It's just like the best of the best right now. And that Pokemon... So our best Pokemon, I think, let's just put like, let's just do like a top 3. I want to say, I think it's hard not to put Mew in there. I think it's hard not to put Dodrio there too. And then I think I'm going to put one of these as well. I think you see these 3 Pokemon a lot. I think... Honestly, I almost do want to put, like, switch these, but, or just put Absol in A tier, but that just feels like too many speedsters. We're gonna say, I'm gonna try and put one from each, like, class, honestly. Obviously no defenders. We don't have any defenders in the A tier, which I don't know if I agree with. I'll tell you what, this is how we're gonna go. I think this is A tier. I think this is B tier. Wiggly B tier. Mamoswine A tier. Because Mamoswine's crazy. Don't get me wrong. It's probably the best defender right now. They're all pretty good. That's why it's hard. Maybe I should be like basing them off of each other. So we'll go with Snorlax up here because Snorlax is good. Snorlax in the B tier. I'll tell you what, yeah, Aegislash in the C tier just to make it look pretty. Because Aegislash isn't that great, let's be honest. I think it's really good, and I think in the right hands it's super strong, but I don't think it's super picked right now, at least in solo, and I don't think it's the greatest. Like, it's not as good as Charizard, I don't think. It's not as good as Scizor right now. It's not as good as Lucario, probably. I mean, Lucario's always just been really good if played well. So we're going to put... Honestly, I'm going to put Gengar there. I think Gengar is better than Dodrio. I think Dodrio's crazy, though. And if you're running Tri-Attack Dodrio, you're probably doing a lot. And you're scoring a lot with like just your sheer mobility. And then these two. Honestly, I'm going to put Tyranitar in this S tier. And I think Tyranitar goes into S tier because Tyranitar has, like, he just has that special clause with the true damage, and he just does so much. So he can block, and he can block a Rayquaza zone on his own as long as he doesn't just get jumped for 1 billion damage. So if there's a support with him, in reality, just healing him, like Blissey, Mime, or Clefable, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So we're gonna drop some out of the tiers of S tier. I think the first one to drop out of S tier is actually though, I think the first one to drop out of S tier is Gengar, and like that's probably a hot take, but dude, I don't know. I was much more scared of Gengar before playing Clefable, and I think Clefable's one Pokemon that, like, you know what I mean? It's one. But there's other ones that counter it. I just think Clefable's really popular right now, and it's going to be for a while. And Gengar Hex, it gets destroyed by Gravity Clefable, and I think that's the moveset, and it will be unless it gets nerfed too hard. I think it has to be T-Tar that comes off the list next, and that's solely because Mew is kind of insane. And I think Clefable is one of those Pokemon that just got released, and 2 days after, it's just way too strong. Not saying way too strong. I like its kit. I think it's pretty close, but I just think it needs tuned down a little. So with all that being said, it's tough. I don't want to play favorites. It's tough. You know what? I think I'll give it to Mew. With Clefable being a close second. Just because Clefable's so good. It's so good. But Mew actually has everything. Like, I don't think there's anything that Pokemon doesn't do other than sustain. And it has coaching, which, I mean, if you're in viable, like, or a competent like 5-stack or 3-stack, where you have people you can like call over to get their shield or get you out of things with a shield to pull you out, like get, like, you know what I mean, inch closer to the fight to pull you out with the shields, both of you. I think it has it all. I think Clefable. Let me know in the comments if you think Clefable should be better. I think it's a toss-up, honestly. But yeah, let me know what you think about everything, honestly, and where I placed it, and because I think there's some hot takes. I think maybe Blastoise is higher, maybe Trevenant's higher, maybe Absol's higher, maybe Scizor's higher, maybe Glaceon's higher. Not too sure. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the video. This is my tier list for 2 days after Season 7, the Clefable patch. Yeah, I'm honestly enjoying this season. My thoughts, I've been enjoying this season more than I've enjoyed the past few. I enjoyed it a lot more than last season. I think people are starting to get it more, and just as more people come out with more like educational content, the more I think people will start to improve and just get better macro on the map and better team fighting all around, like just all around help more often in solo queue, I guess. I don't know. Well, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe for more videos. I definitely want to be doing more of these. I thought this was super fun, super informative, because I can kind of go through and talk about it, but I just wanted to do a quick one for this because, I mean, it's only 2 days into the season. I'm sure a lot of my opinions are probably going to change on this as the season goes on, so maybe in a week I'll do an update, or yeah, probably a week. Do an update, see how I feel about everything. Yeah. With that being said, I hope everyone has a good rest of the night.